Hi, this is Kathy Vick, Deeply Awake. I only have a few things to say, and I would imagine this is a conversation that will be ongoing. But I think that it's important to begin somewhere. This is in regards to the 44% and what I have routinely called them all my life. First, this is a time of straight-on DNA activation for many. There is a patch of energy that we are traveling through, which is effective in removing the quarantine of consciousness we have found ourselves in willingly for thousands of years. The purpose has been to disengage self from self and to see it everywhere and bring it home to self. That has been the game afoot. And some have come home, and others will. Soon. Soon. Very soon. Very soon now. To think that this particular thing that you are watching is an aberration is incorrect. This is normal. This is health. This is the future. Can you imagine such a thing? In the beginning, it worried me a lot that we as a group were considering Nasera and considering the idea that aliens were going to land on the White House lawn and announce themselves. This was a theme that ran through much of the blogosphere prior to December 21st of 2012, a day I celebrate on the 12/12. So, the idea behind all of this is that they are we, are I. To see God as something outside has been helpful because it is through examination of its intense beauty, its pristine physics, that one begins to understand that the heart cannot ring so true with information so bold, so palpable, unless it was within first. We have DNA. We are made of DNA. Trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of particles which work in a quantum way. And much of this must be language slowly as consciousness evolves. This quarantine serves not only to remove the slower thinking, the rigid thinking that is within the mass consciousness, but individually, of course. Of course, it's happening individually to greater or lesser degrees. Them, who are they? Because I will tell you, This morning, sitting on my bed, letting my body talk to me, words that I did not anticipate. Clearly, what else can be said than there is a they? I don't know how else to say it, because I want to normalize it. I don't want to call it guides or Archangel Michael or anything that would make it off limits to anyone. But I haven't figured out how to speak particularly without referencing this greater thing that seems to move my life. I do believe that that will change as I realize that, well, just as I grow up, but the quarantine of consciousness, of course, is cellular. Deep within each cell are atoms. Each atom, an ecstatic, orgasmic symphony of will and love. God itself moves that electron, turning it from potential into reality. God alone. Love alone. That's how we're made. That's the golden light. That this one, before you, understood this before you did, does not make her holy. It does not make her special. It makes her skilled. And that is all. To think that someone in your midst is greater than you is a grave and fundamental error in understanding the situation and your own divinity, your purpose, and the truth of it, that you are here. Therefore, take heart. Understand that you are, as I am, not different, the same, family. It is true, at a certain point, activation can only be stopped with permission. That is how it's done. It must be started with permission, but then it can only be stopped by stating that's enough. In my case, it will never be enough. Ever. Ever. It is only a sidebar. It feels so good. The truth is that that is my job. I offer myself to you as a mere example of what is available. And so, the 44. I will speak for a moment on it. But it's not for me to explain. It's for someone else. And I will give them a high honor. There have been other multiples. 1-1, 2-2, and 3-3. We know whose face is on the 3-3, don't we? My beloved. He taught us about compassion. The 22, the master builder. Different times, different expectations, different requirements. And now, the the 44. 4 is the number of Gaia. It is the number of physicality, of physical experience. Understand, there are 2 4s, and that is purposeful. As above, so below. As within, so without. By understanding fundamentally, that we are reflections of each other, that Gaia is a reflection of us, and we her. By understanding that physical reality is that which occurs cooperatively. Do you understand that 4 plus 4 equals an octave, which will resonate in this age as above, so below, as within, so without. Just as 6 guided the age of the 33, 8 guides the age of the 44. Ultimate sovereignty, supreme responsibility, unshakable foundation. As above, so below. 2 circles on top of each other, the 8, 8. So, there is more. There is so much more about this. However, as we travel through this ribbon which lightens our countenance and reminds us of home, it does so because what is in our cells, in our DNA, in our genetic material, resonates with the Creator's light, bursting through and through and through, as electron, as electron, as electron, as mitosis, as birth, and as death. Understand the time of duality is lightening. It's coming to pass that more people will understand in a cellular way what's going on long before they can language it and long before they have sparkly experiences. This one was given those experiences in order to whet her appetite, to keep her interested, because she is so easily bored and so angry about being here. Why do you think we've given her such rewards? It has been hard for her. You have seen the evidence. You have seen the tears. And with each shedding of misunderstanding, with each decision that she has made to accept and honor that which is within her, it gets easier. We do not expect you to work it all out, and we do not expect her to either. It's not the point. It's not a puzzle on which you will be graded if you don't get a piece in the right place. We don't care. What we do care about is that you take it seriously enough to know that your life has meaning. If you wish to throw it away and not value it, you're allowed. You are that loved. You are that honored. And you are that sovereign. There is a greater movement afoot which has nothing to do with little will. Nothing to do with little will. There is a struggle against little will, and that is fine. That is how as it should be. Thus you see the politics and all of the other machinations of people wondering how to do it better. It's a slow process. But do you not have compassion for your child as he grips the crayon clumsily and draws something that he has dreamt of and hoped for and seen in his little mind's eye? And what parent would take that drawing and say it wasn't good enough? Only a parent who doesn't understand the miracle sitting in front of them. That's all. There is nothing but love for the struggles that we face, for the heartaches which break us open and bring us home. Nothing but love, nothing but respect, nothing but compassion. And the misunderstanding that still permeates this environment fills those who can feel it with pain. Allowing each their own experience and their own limits. We come to you today to tell you it's fine. You are fine. By that we mean fear not. Fear not. Fear not. In extremity, in pain, in burden, in heartache, you are tenderly held by the arms of legions. Legions. And yet, your skin may feel cold as your heart grieves. And we love you for your service. So, the question was on this one's lips for all time. Is it real? Is it real? Is it real? Is it real? We cannot answer that for her. She must answer for herself. We can only provide proof as she sees fit. We are pleased with her willingness to listen to the small, still voice within. Saying, Welcome home. Welcome home. Not come home. Welcome home. We gave the channel a vision of a very tall, locked castle door yesterday, split down the middle, able to open by cleaving. It was not used, and that was on purpose. Before each of you stands a magnificent castle that you yourself, in another time, built brick by brick, the mortar of which is made of the things we go on and on about: love, dignity, respect, kindness, acceptance, permission. You knew about these marvelous qualities when you built your castle. You ensured the castle would glow with your essence as you built it. It housed a family. It housed a nation. And there was peace. Yesterday, the channel misunderstood. She understood that this was about a relationship. No. Although, of course, do you not see the metaphor? Instead, what is true, we are telling you. Can you not see the hand on the circular pull bolted to that door? Can you not feel the give? And before the give, can you not feel the will that it takes to pull? Anyone who has reached out, who has gripped that circular pull, and who has summoned will to move their bodies back and let the door open, they are who these videos are for. Because what they are experiencing, dear one, is the miracle of seeing a door which weighs, oh, let's make it a ton, shall we? Barely equivalent. Immovable, impossible, unthinkable. That by virtue of wanting to pull and beginning to tug, we are on the other side. So happy you thought it possible. Understand, this is your inheritance. This belongs to you. You made it. It is yours. It is your home. Of course you can open up the door. We are glad you try. We are glad when you even think about it. This vision came to her one other time. A green glen. An adequate, beautiful castle. Something we say was very small in proportion to what is being offered. And yet, she saw it and was completely overjoyed because she understood innately she had made this. It was her inheritance. Not something that is earned. Not something that is given. Something to which she belongs, as do you, each of you, this day. It is said the body is a temple. Although this is so, there is much duality in this concept, and we would like to allow you to consider that what is being offered is not another opportunity to offer supplication, humility, and sacrifice. Those times are over. This is the time for you to understand that yes, at a certain point, the game is over. If you want to turn into light and become physically something else, you may. If you prefer to use your skill and enthusiasm and love in order to create for others and self great happiness and peace, may we offer you every invitation to do so today. See how your feet move so easily across the bridge, which spans a wasteland, a paradise. Look where you have come from and see that the dwellings are small. And you have outgrown their comfort. And before you, all around you, can you see? You are in the garden of this great structure you made long ago with your own hands. Cemented with love for a day that was to come, holding firm through every calamity, taking every storm, knowing full well it was just a nuisance. The sun is shining in this garden, and there are many delights. Do not consider that they are earned or unearned. We ask. It is not about that anymore. At one time, deep in lesson, right and wrong had to be learned. Due to the experiment in consciousness which all partook in, which was great fun. But it's over for so many. Whether you find yourself in the wasteland, on the bridge, at the door, or in the garden, can you not see the 44? Can you not see the perfection and completion in the eight, which rides above. And sings below. All activity of man. We appreciate that this transmission was long. We will say this is the deepest she has allowed us to go. And we are pleased. We are pleased with what she has come to accomplish. And yet she is only one. And so we conclude with a little story. At the beginning of this, yes, people were hoping for divine intervention. Why would they not? That is the order of the day. And so it was interpreted to me that each individual on earth would be given a working wage without producing labor. Somehow this would come to pass, as well as aliens coming down and telling us what is what. Well, indeed that part has come to pass, has it not? But instead, being the woman that she is, singular, divine, and beloved, and beautiful. Yes, dear one, beautiful. She wrote a little piece to open this age. And we reference it because with this acknowledgement, we acknowledge to her she is no longer on the bridge. She is no longer watching the door open, but is seated, happy and quiet, on a bench within the castle walls, among friends, in company, and well-loved. Fear not, dear one, fear not. She said she found it a little grotesque that we would, as a group, be thinking this way. Shame on you, she said, in no uncertain terms. She said, imagine this, if you can. Imagine a planet populated with ascended masters. Imagine the ascended master spilling coffee on himself in traffic on the way to work. Imagine the work that could get done, the counseling that could be offered, the minds that could ease, the souls that could breathe again. Imagine. This is what is occurring, don't you understand? And there's far more than 144,000 of you, of course. We are talking about millions. All over this planet. Well placed, purposefully placed, geographically pristine in not only the geometrics, but the harmonics. The day calls, and people People who are in need will be taken care of now. It is time for you to do as you see fit now with this information. We ask that you reflect on it, that you allow the channel the tears. This will pass. However, they are also purposeful and required. The 44 and them. They are you. 4 fours looking at each other, Gaia and the human. Structure. A verdant, green, lush reality. Bursting, teeming, with profoundly rich, energetic life. Consider that things glow now more than they did. As the quarantine lifts, as the shadow passes, and as the DNA activation continues. In conclusion, it is important to note that, yes, this process is one which is organic and, at a certain point, becomes quite contagious too. The body habitus, the mind, and the heart. Each can determine how much is enough. There are no rules. And with a simple understanding of your worth, you begin. That is how it's done. The ones who populate this place and make it better, who have voluntarily come to assist. Awaken. This is only one way of doing it. There are so many. You will know them by how good you feel around them, how deep you know they are, how much you want to love them. Each worthy of this and so much more. So much more. Not capable. Worthy. If you only knew. We know who we're talking to. We see the beauty in humanity. We love you and your endeavors. Be easy. You are protected. You are loved. You are safe. And dear ones, your home. Make it so. Make it so this day. Make it homey. For you. For others. If you cannot, please forgive yourself. Forgive yourselves. We know there's nothing to forgive, but it's a good exercise in removing judgment from behavior. Do not judge self. There are things afoot you do not understand. So rest easy today. We leave in love.